Thrilled to have back here on the Rich Eisen Show, the man whose virtual comedy show, Behind the Mask, drops, as the kids say, Saturday to September 12th at 7 p.m. The show will be streaming on RushTix, RushTix.com, where tickets are available. And Brad Paisley opening up for our next guest, Kevin Nealon. How are you, Kevin?
Hey, Rich. Good to talk to you again.
Good to talk to you. Do you know what I mean by going higher register for things that you kind of believe, but you really don't? You know, like, do you ever find yourself doing that?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, that's my motto. Always kind of like second guess.
Always try and see how it might actually go. How's life for you? What have you been up to except getting ready for your virtual comedy show?
Have you ever asked anybody that question and they say, "You know what, Rich? Life has never been better for me." I mean, what a sad life that must be.
Well, you know what? It's an open-ended question because I've also never had somebody then say, you know, life is miserable and then pour out their troubles for the next 5 minutes like it's a therapy session. I've never had that.
One thing I realized from visiting my parents in a retirement home is never to ask a stranger in the hallway how they're doing. You will have to pull up a chair and sit down and listen to a litany of medical issues.
Like, don't ask, right?
Yeah, but things are going well for me. Thanks for asking. I mean, considering everything.
Right.
I think all of us are kind of settling into this, temporary normalcy
right
now, and there's talk about a vaccine coming up, so we're kind of hopeful about that. But in the meantime, I've just, I'm excited like you that sports is kind of back, sort of. It's like we're making the best of things. Like nothing is like what it was. Like this virtual, live stream show I'm doing. It's going to be from my office in my home. It's going to be great, but it's not going to be like coming from being in a comedy club live. It's kind of like the blow-up doll of comedy clubs. It's a good substitute.
So you're going to basically be, again, just sitting in your home office doing stand-up jokes? Is there going to be, in the same way that the NFL or others are pumping in crowd noise, like will laughter be pumped in as well, Kevin? Or are you just going to do your jokes?
First of all, I won't be sitting because it's a stand-up show.
Very good.
I will have a mic. I will be standing up. It will be in my office, which, by the way, is also my safe room. And
yes.
So nobody will be rushing the stage.
Yes.
And the audience there'll be about 10 to 20 people that you could hear their laughter, but you won't see them. So I'll be able to kind of like get my timing from them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I'm excited about it actually. I'm because my stand-up is kind of laid back. It's kind of intimate. I've always preferred the smaller rooms as compared to the larger venues like theaters and arenas.
Right.
And this is probably nothing more intimate than this venue.
Well, I mean, because you keep hearing, athletes who are coming back and there's no fans, that they say that it's really odd that you can't feed off them. So will there at least be members of your family in your safe room to laugh at your stuff? Or no,
the
not at
only
all?
person that will be nearby in my home
yes.
at that night will be Mr. Brad Paisley. And we have been potting together since the COVID started, and we're all COVID-free, including our kids. Our kids are best friends, and our wives are best friends.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And I just kind of put up with Brad, and he puts up with me.
So that's your pod? Is the Nealons and the Paisleys have been chilling and quarantine? It's your quarantine friends?
Yeah. Yep. What I would like to do, though, Rich, is I would like to also include Bill Gates and his family. And I would tell him, Bill, let's pod together. Let's pool our money.
Yes.
Let's put it in a big pile.
Yes.
Let's live off of that during the COVID. And when this is all over, we'll just split that pile down the middle and go our separate ways.
I like it. So it's kind of like, again, the night that Michael Jordan and I combined for 55 points on his 55-point night. And that'll just take sort of like that sort of thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly that.
I like it, Kevin.
And plus, I've got some of my best laughs from my home here. So I have high expectations. I'm going to that next level.
And that's RushTix.com, where you can check out Kevin Nealon Behind the Mask. Virtual comedy show.
Brad will be opening for me. He'll be my house band. And there's an after party, a virtual after party, Rich.
Okay.
Just let me repeat that again.
Yes.
A virtual after party where people can hang out. We could chat with them. They'll ask questions. There's a 2-drink minimum. If it's honorary, they got to go to the refrigerator and pick out 2 drinks.
Of any sort.
Of any sort.
Okay. And that'll be that. And then you tip your virtual waitress, and that'll be it.
Yeah. And then here's another thing, an idea I had, Richard. Like maybe you could give me your thoughts on this.
Okay.
Social distancing in sports.
Yes.
What about wrestling? Each wrestler wrestles from their own home.
Virtual wrestling. How does that work, Kevin? First of all, color me interested.
Okay.
But how does it work in your estimation then?
Here's how it works. It's like, okay, let's say UFC. You know how they fight in the ring?
Yes.
Okay, what we do is we get two fighters.
Yeah.
And we have them each fight from their own home. They watch the other person's move.
Yes.
And then they do their move. They do their punch, the other one does their punch. And then the ref from his home kind of like, judges like whether that would have landed or not.
So it's interpretive, essentially, what you're saying.
Interpretive UFC fighting.
Yes, and then it's interpretive. You've got to suspend your disbelief a little bit. Use your own imagination. So how does one decide to when
there's a tap out. There's a tap out at the end.
No, that's the leave red button at the bottom of your Zoom, Kevin.
That's right. That's the leave now. That's the leave now.
That's the tap. I have a feeling we're both spitballing here, Kevin. I'm getting that sense.
Well, everything is spitballing now. There's no
virtual spitballing. Just virtual, because the other way could be dangerous.
I mean, it wouldn't be dangerous if they made the ring bigger and they still had to keep 6 feet apart and they wore a mask. They couldn't touch each other, but they had to stay 6 feet apart.
Oh my gosh!
It's almost like a Three Stooges kind of a sketch.
That would be difficult if you want to talk about comedy that's difficult in social distancing. Three Stooges would be particularly difficult. Yeah, I think so. That would be very difficult. Kevin Nealon, Behind the Mask, virtual comedy tour again tomorrow night, Saturday, September 12th at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern time. We're on right now on the Peacock streamer, Kevin, and on a standalone channel that's NBC Sports on Peacock. There's another standalone channel for Saturday Night Live where you go right there and it just doesn't stop. It's one after another, bits and shows from your era, 86 to 95. If you had one,
is that true?
Yes, exactly correct. No, yeah, it's up there too. Yeah,
it's on the Peacock platform.
On the Peacock streamer that we're on right now. So we've got that going on. Which one of your era that you would say that was the one? Like if you had to have one time capsuled from your era of Saturday Night Live that you were involved in, which one would it be for you?
Kevin? It would probably be like a Hans and Franz or something, with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay.
But, it's funny because my son's 13 and he loves watching Saturday Night Live online.
Okay.
But it's the current ones, like maybe going back 8 years, 7 years.
But not yours? Not your, because... No,
he can't really find that. And sometimes I have to remind him. I get a little jealous and say, hey, I was on that show one time, for 9 years in its heyday. You should check those out. Check out those sketches. And he goes, yeah, I want to do that. And then he's showing me all these sketches that are kind of like, comedy kind of changed over the years, where it's a little more kind of like inappropriate now and naughty, and it's always been naughty, but on SNL it's more a short attention span, and the characters break up laughing, and they don't stay in character. And so the other day I came across some sketches on my computer that I had saved from SNL, some of my favorite ones.
Uh-huh.
And I sat him down. I said, okay, I'm going to show you some real SNL stuff here, some vintage. And I was showing it to him, and he was standing, and I always look at his face when he's watching a show that I want him to see. I don't look at the show because I know it.
Yes.
And I'm watching his reactions, and it's kind of like he was just being nice to me, going, that's funny.
Oh, no.
That's funny.
Oh, no.
But I realized that they were kind of long. The sketches went on for a while, and they should have been shorter, and they're not as funny as I remembered them to be.
And did you have to explain to him, like, say who Brent Musburger was? Like, that's, or did
it's funny, I'll watch TV with him now or a movie, and he'll be next to me, and he'll always say, is that guy still alive?
Oh.
Is she still alive? And I'll say, yeah, that's Sandler. That's Adam Sandler. He's still alive.
Oh.
What?
I say good rule of thumb is if the movie's in black and white, those people are mostly dead.
So wait a minute. Hold on a second. Kevin Nealon here on the show. You've been, if I'm not mistaken, your hit rate of you being in a Sandler movie is up there with, like, you know, Alan Covert. You know what I mean? Like, it's up there with, you've been in what, 90% of them? Most of them?
I don't think so. I think I've been in about, I think I counted
60?
them, maybe 13, and I've been on, you know, his albums, one of his albums.
Okay.
As a hypnotist. And,
so does he,
you know, I've done different things with
has
him.
he never seen you in a Sandler movie then? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah, he has.
Okay.
He's seen a couple, you know, that, I mean, he only kind of got to the age where he could start watching that stuff now, and even now it's a little, I kind of cringe a little bit on certain scenes.
Right.
But I do want to show him these movies that he's not quite right for, like The Jerk, the Steve Martin movie.
Okay,
The Jerk,
sure, right.
And I'm thinking, what's wrong with that? I don't think there's anything R in there, rated R, but I think, where's the R stuff? And then you start playing, you go, oh, that's right, that's right.
If there's only a website for that sort of thing, you know, I mean, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, so the scenes of like Swordson would definitely be inappropriate for your son.
Oh, yeah.
I'd imagine.
Yeah. In some movies, yeah.
You know,
like some of the Swartzen movies, yeah.
Hey, man,
but he's, you know, he knows all the swear words and
Okay,
stuff
that's
now.
good.
But it used to be kind of awkward when somebody would say the S word or, you know, the F word. But now he hears it at school all the time. And when I say school, I mean online.
That's right. Well, yeah, watching the UFC online sport that we just workshopped. Hey, man, this is a fun chat as always, Kevin. Thanks for coming on. Let's do it again. And I look forward to having you back here in person when all this insanity is over.
Thanks, Rich. I love you, and I love your show. And you're great, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Right back at you. Kevin Nealon, at Kevin_Nealon. Behind the Mask virtual comedy show tomorrow at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. Go to RushTix, RushTix.com. Brad Paisley's opening up for him. Do you think he really is quarantining with the Paisleys? Because you never, I can't tell.
You can't tell. I got to go out on a limb
Yes or
and
no?
say,
Yes or no?
No, he's not.
I don't know.
Although I
don't know. Could be possible.
It is possible.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.